Dead Space, a third-person shooter survival horror video game. One of the best survival horror games out there. I know this review is kind of late, and this is my first review, so if there are any bad things about the video, just tell me about it so my future reviews can be a lot better. Now, I know this review is kind of late because this game came out in 2008, but I had just recently got the game, I had just beat it, and I'm just writing a review about it because it was a very good game. There's nothing bad about this game. 2008, I couldn't get it because I had a Toshiba satellite laptop. It wouldn't play games very well, not even Warcraft 3 on normal settings. That's an old as hell game. Well, not the oldest. Even Duke Nukem wouldn't run it. That was one shitty ass graphics card. This game was awesome. This game has been one of the best games I've ever played in my life. I have no regrets about this game whatsoever. There are no changes that need to be made to it. I would give it a 10 out of 10, but most people would disagree. Personally, I would give it a 10 out of 10, but really, I would give it a 9.5. The reason for that is because excess scaring. No, I'm kidding, not excess scaring. That's what a survival horror is. To feel dread, to feel not being able to survive. You can either run like hell or stay and fight. That's what this game you can do. It's a very good game. I like that everything you do is in real time. That means it doesn't give you time to just load out to get your loadout, change weapons. No, it all happens in real life. Everything happens. You can still hear voices. You can still move around. You can still look at your surroundings. The only thing that could probably stop everything would have to be ESC. But who would do that? There's no reason to. This game is incredible for causing panic. Everything you do, even if you move, you can hear sounds. You can hear voices in your head calling your name. I thought that was kind of scary. Even in places where everything is just all fucked up, there are bodies everywhere, there's blood splattered on the walls, there are numbers, there are letters written on the floor telling you something, all of that. And there's no necromorph popping up. That's what I saw. There was no necromorph popping up, but I still felt that, damn, this has got to be the most fucked up place. This is like hell on earth. Hell in space, I mean. This game was incredible. I like the monster design, the necromorph design, I mean, everything. I mean, they're like the necromorphs are primitive living human beings. It's what we would do if we were back in the Paleozoic, Cenozoic era. All of it. I think EA was brave enough, or psycho enough, to look up crashes and seeing the dead bodies of people's car crashing so that they can make the dead bodies that are in the game. And how the infector infects dead bodies and changes them into necromorphs, twisting their bodies, spawning bones out of their arms. It's incredible. Every time you see an infector and one necromorph and bodies lying around, you know that you cannot let that infector go. Just by killing that one necromorph, that infector could have infected 3 more dead bodies. This game is insane for everything it does. Every boss, even though most bosses, the only 2 bosses that I've seen, which would have to be, of course, the final boss, the hive mind, and the one in the food storage, they look like giant vaginas with teeth, with yellow areas. It's like an infected vagina with teeth or something. But it felt good to kill every one of them. You have to strategically look up. You have to get bombs. You have to shoot where they need to be shot at. And there's usually a little bit of scene. They put you upside down. Everything, even the Y-X axis, they're all switched up. It's crazy. I enjoyed the part where I enjoyed the stores and the benches where you get to buy equipment, sell equipment. get schematics for your equipment, upgrade your equipment. I mean, this game is just incredible. It's even strategic in that point. You have to learn what weapons you have to upgrade, what you need to sell, what you need to be sold or not to be sold. I mean, that's good. That's what most third-person shooters would have. A single-player third-person shooters, of course. To upgrade your weapons to better kill. My weapons consisted of just a plasma cutter and the pulse rifle. Of course, you cannot have any undead shooting without an automatic rifle. I mean, what kind of game would that be? Apparently that would be Dead Space. But it still has a pulse rifle, but it's a very great game. Even if it didn't have a pulse rifle, you'd still be able to manage. The entire story, I would have to give the story would have to be a 9.5. Maybe that's what decreased it. The story I meant was a bit too, I mean, it's nothing they haven't really done before. Some dude goes into an area that's been cut off. He finds undead zombies. I mean, it's not like they haven't done that before. I don't know any movies or any games that have done that, but I know that it's been done before. So don't hate me that in the comments. But Dead Space did it very well. I have to give you that. Dead Space took that kind of generic atmosphere and put it into Dead Space, and it created very good. The atmosphere, the sounds, the sound effects, everything's great. It feels like every time you shoot your plasma cutter, you're shooting a plasma cutter. And when it's slicing off some sort of part from a necromorph, you can feel and hear that bone crack. I mean, that's incredible. This is probably the most detailed game I've played. If there are any suggestions in the comments of what games I should be able to play, you know. When I tried getting this game, I couldn't get it on my Alienware M11X laptop that I have now, 3 years later. It was kind of difficult because I do not have a CD-ROM in my M11X because it's so small I can't take it because the parts that consist in it. I couldn't find an optical drive, so I had to go out, get me a $20 USB flash drive of 8 gigabytes, and I was hoping that Dead Space would fit on the USB flash drive. I was relieved that it would, but it left 10 megabytes left. I said, I'm one lucky son of a bitch. I can't really afford $30 for an optical drive because money is tight where I am. And no, my family. I'm trying to look for a job, but I can't. This game, I love the concept art of the game. I played Extraction. I have played this game, of course, and beat it. I've beaten both. I've seen the movies. I've read the comic. I've even seen the concept art in the Dead Space Extraction, the little story thing, and it's a very detailed game. Like in the beginning in Dead Space, you're a guy named Isaac Clarke. You don't know who you are, what you're doing on the Ishimura, but you go there and it's just shit. It's hell, and I couldn't believe it myself. But it does tell typical human behavior in most generic undead. When one small problem always happens, and then it turns into a big shit fuck. Clusterfuck, I mean. It turns into one huge ass clusterfuck. Just by one little infection, something that could have been completely preventable. But no. Greedy human hands just want it. Why couldn't they just take the dying planet and run? No. No, let's take this little relic that we've never seen before or ever heard of, and let's extract it. For what purpose? What? Unitology sounds like a bitch. I wish they had the only thing that I wish Dead Space would have was a multiplayer horde mode. That would be incredible. But it's not a complaint because the game is already perfect as it is. Just one of the best games I've ever played. It is a 9.5 for me, and it's incredible.